Shamaya, you did it.
STL Music.
Is that good? Welcome back to the show. Yo, listen up, we back in the game. Sweep the league, we got the flame. Motivated to the fullest every single day. We wake up, get it in every way. Working the two on the global inspiration. Talk this sports and top news, no hesitation. Sweep the league is back. We always coming back, that's a fact. Wanna tell them that STL Music, mama, we did it, where we at? Coach Jill in the house with the flow so tight. Every girl, perfect rock stats, we unite. Yeah, the best show, Monday through Friday. If this ain't different, they lying. We got the energy. When I say sweep, you say the league. Sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go.
Hey, it's Rain Fernandez, and you're watching Sweep the League. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and Facebook at Rain Fernandez, Rayne Fernandez.
Hi, it's Sherilyn, and you're watching Sweep the League TV. Follow me on Instagram at official Sherilyn for more content.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweep the League Radio.
Sweep the league TV where legends collide. If the Cowboys fall short, we'll still ride the tide. Like Jordan in the clutch or Brady's last play, we bring the fire, keeping fans in the fray. Coach Gio and Rudy calling the shots with Derek Coventry, Hall of Fame thoughts. So hit that subscribe, don't sit on the bench. Get in the game, every highlight's intense. The live stream's on till your friends don't delay. Like Kobe in the fourth, we're here to play. Sweep the League TV, where greatness resides. From the bars, epic drives, till my heart's on the rise. We're all in on sports, NBA, CFB, and more for fans. By fans, it's the show you'll adore.
What is up, everybody? It has been a minute. And let me change this here, get you the big fat head screen here. It is Rudy Compush in here. As you can see, we did go to TikTok as well. We're not moving this live show to TikTok, but we are going to be doing some live shows on TikTok here really soon. So you can follow us on TikTok. For those of you that don't like it, don't worry about it, at Sweep the League Radio. And we've got all the comments in. Joel Colon says, we back. We are back. I told you guys we'd be back here. The Sith Lord himself, the Sword Elias. Now, he does an amazing job with the wrestling talk, and we're going to have a special, can you say, show that's been added to the Sweep the League network called Talking Sith, and he's going to be interviewing people. He's just going to lay it out on the line. Y'all are not going to want to miss that. Something that we've been working on behind the scenes here for Sweep the League, and for all you out there, Sweep the League Nation. It's been a minute. It sure has. Rudy, what is up, Joel? How you doing? Man, we got a lot of people in the chat right now. So if you want to drop the chat, this is the topic we're going to be talking about for a while here. Today, you get the Devin Vassell talk. You get the Kevin Durant, the San Antonio talk. You get all that kind of talk here. Drop your trade ideas, because we've seen all of them all over the place. I went live last night and I was talking about how Spurs fans in general like to overvalue players because they are San Antonio Spurs. They're silver and black. So, we all think that Jeremy Sohan is, he's worth a first round pick at least. He's worth this. You know what? He's going to improve. He's going to improve. I'm going to say it again. Quit overvaluing players. At the end of the day, it's a business. The team's going to make the best business decision for the team. Now, I get it, fans. You haven't believed in the front office lately. I mean, it doesn't take a moron to not select Victor Wembanyama number one. Took a little bit of work to take Stephon Castle there, but knowing that he was the best prospect in that draft, on my board at least, he was number one. They took him, worked out, back-to-back rookie of the years. This year they're sitting at 2-14. All the rumors. You got to trade 2 to get Kevin Durant. You got to trade 2 to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. Stephon Castle. You got to trade him. You got to do this. You got to do that. They ain't got to do shit. 100% they don't. We're going to tackle it all. We're going to tackle it all. All right. As the comments come in, we're going to tackle it all tonight. We're waiting for Coach Gio. Coach Gio should be in here in a little while, so we're waiting for him. Jacob Eric, let's get it. We are going to get it, man. Got a shout out in a minute for you here. Noah Perez is in here. Devin Vassell will probably add it to any trade list. We're going to get into that. Can you keep that same fire? Let's go. I have the perfect first guest in mind. Talking Sith, another show coming here. Sweep the League Network. It's going to be Talking Sith. Yeah, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. Quick shout out, man. Jacob Eric, Grading the Market, a show that comes out on Saturdays at 1 o'clock. They go live. It's Jacob Eric. It's Anthony. And then you also get MCS's own Chris Leha's, also special Leafs own Joshua Cooks. They tend to jump in from time to time, talk about the hobby. They're breaking, hobby boxes and opening packs left and right. They're bringing fantastic content, grading the market. But shout out to Jacob Eric, man. His son graduated. David Canzino graduated from Cass Tech. Cass Tech, you're like, where the hell is Cass Tech? It's the old Fox Tech. So for those of y'all in San Antonio, those old farts like me, it's the old Fox Tech. It's called Cass Tech. And he's graduated today. He's going to UTSA, Birds up. And as we all know, the Birds, hey, college baseball taking over San Antonio as UTSA ran through that little team in Austin, the Texas Longhorns. Congratulations, UTSA. They are heading to California. They'll be playing against UCLA next. So see how far the Birds can go. JC in here again. JC joins Jacob, Eric, and Anthony from time to time on Grading the Market. So be sure to check out that show. They talk all sports cards, sports collectibles. They also talk sports in general as well. I jump in from time to time. So be sure to check out Grading the Market. Shout out to those guys out there. They do a fantastic job. Joel Colon, UTSA baseball, Birds up. And you know what? We can't introduce, the Sweep the League crew back, since it's been a while since we've been on. We got to bring on the man, the myth, the legend himself. And that is the one, the only Coach Gio is back. When you make a return, you make a big return. We're back now. The time change is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little earlier most of the time now. No more late nights. Gio's got to be in bed. I got to be in bed. We got a family stuff to do. So, Gio, man, welcome back, brother. How you been?
Doing good. Can't complain. I figured we might do a show this week because something called the NBA Finals is back. So, but good to be back, and a little earlier is definitely welcomed.
Yeah, I think what we're going to do is we're going to start doing earlier shows and not late shows. Earlier for me seems to work out better. Now, when school starts, my little girl, she does play sports. So those are the times I may go early, or I may go later. We'll figure all that out here. But again, you're going to get recorded shows from time to time as well. So it's not always going to be live. We got 30 plus people in the chat already, man. We just started here. UT is little brother now. Birds up. UTSA defeated the Texas Longhorns. Gio, you don't care about Texas. So, I mean, the UTSA, the Birds up. They defeated Texas Longhorns. They're moving on. Joel Colon's glad you're back, Gio. We're going to talk NBA Finals in a second. Rudy, is this UTSA baseball run going to force the schools to upgrade its sports facilities? You would hope so, man. I mean, the UTSA Roadrunner football team was hot and on fire for a while there. They kind of cooled off. Got to keep that same momentum, man, when it comes to UTSA baseball. But nonetheless, Gio, we're not going to waste any time. We got a lot to talk about. One thing we got to get into, and this is what I tell everybody, you got to share your trade ideas, because the hottest topic that we're going to talk about is Kevin Durant to San Antonio. There's trade galore. I mean, I've seen armchair GMs bring up all the shit today. But first and foremost, Gio, it is NBA Finals talk. It's Oklahoma City. It's your Indiana Pacers, because they're in your backyard. You made mention in our group chat that you want to actually head to an NBA Finals game. Have you looked at the tickets?
I have. It's not cheap, but I think it would be a good experience. Really, like, the Spurs, during those years, them going to the finals, let's just say I didn't have a lot of money. I have a little bit more money now, so
Because you won the lottery. Someone
Yeah.
said you won the lottery.
hey, if I did, please give me my ticket so I can cash that in. But no, I would love to go to NBA Finals. I think would be a good experience. You know, the fans here are pumped, Rudy, and look, it's gonna be a tough opponent. The Oklahoma City Thunder. Let's just say, one of the great defenses, Rudy, we've seen in quite some time. The guys that they have coming off, even the bench, I mean, is just phenomenal. The Pacers are going to have a Herculean effort, Rudy. It's got to be zoned in, playing out of your mind. And we've seen finals where, hey, Lakers Pistons, Rudy, if I remember correctly, everyone had the Lakers winning that series.
Yeah.
And what happens? The Pistons win in 5. LeBron James against the Dallas Mavericks. I remember that series very vividly. Not a whole lot of people, Rudy, really gave the Mavericks a shot. And they did it. So stranger things have happened before in the finals.
Would you pretty much, are you giving it to OKC? I picked OKC to win before the season started. I'm trying to go for the three-peat. I picked Denver 2 years ago, 2 years ago. I picked the Celtics last year before the season started. I picked OKC this year. I'm trying to go for the three-peat. If I can get the three-peat, but you know what? I'm scared. This Indiana team caught fire at the right time. They're playing unbelievable basketball right now. And yes, they've technically had help. I mean, let's be real. But here's the thing, is that Halliburton's playing at a superstar level. I apologize to Tyrese Halliburton. Derek was saying he's a superstar in the making. I said, I need another year of Tyrese Halliburton before I can really call him a superstar. Tyrese, I apologize. You are a damn superstar, son. You are on that level now. So it concerns me. Why? Because I think Indiana has a small edge when it comes to experience, veteran experience, where OKC doesn't. But OKC is probably the better team of the two. Defensively, they definitely are. Offensively, they can get hot. Gio, I talked to Derek. I don't know if you agree with me on this, but this series is going to remind me a lot of the Spurs Pistons series. It's going to go back and forth. It's going to be a hell of a battle. I've got OKC in 6, but reluctantly OKC in 6. I think it's going to be a Pistons Spurs type battle. I'm going to enjoy it. I wouldn't mind the 94-89, end of game scores. I would love that.
Well, I mean, for the Pacers to win this series, really, they got to continue to score. They've been on a rampage. I forgot what their record is when they score more than 100 points or something like that.
I can't remember offhand, but I know.
I think it's a very good record, especially in the playoffs. They got to continue that, Rudy. And interesting about these two teams, Rudy, they both got bench. It's not like the Knicks where they're playing really basically 5 guys and some other guys have came in. But tough series, Rudy. My head is saying Oklahoma City, but the heart is saying the Indiana Pacers. I'm kind of at a standstill here. One side you got the Thunder, who have been dominating, though they did almost lose to the Nuggets, who took them to 7 games, which a Nugget team that was kind of hobbled. And you look at what the Thunder or what the Pacers have done, and Siakam and getting a lot of guys. Both teams already have good depth. So, man, I'm going to go out on a limb. I don't know what this series. I'm going to say the Pacers win the series. I know it's
Pacers. Okay.
I got the Pacers winning the NBA Finals, and I'm not sure who's going to be watching the finals. I heard a lot of people might tune off because it's 2 matchups that could be kind of a thing. But Rob Parker, our friend,
our buddy Rob Parker,
our buddy Fox Sports. Rob said the Thunder are turning into the Spurs, and it's not a good thing. And I mean Spurs as in the old Spurs. And he's saying it's not a good thing. So, I mean, look, Rudy, when you watch the Thunder play, it is impressive. It is very impressive what they bring, and that defense and the offense. Man, if the Thunder win, hey, they're definitely going to deserve it. But I really want the Pacers to shock the world.
You if anybody's saying they don't want to watch the finals, you don't like basketball. You hate basketball if you don't want to watch this finals. I mean, you've got two teams that are, I mean, can easily go 9 deep on the bench. I mean, very talented teams. You've got two teams with really, really true, highly touted superstars, an MVP in SGA, and a potential MVP who's being compared to Jason Kidd right now, among other great point guards, and Tyrese Halliburton. You've got Miles Turner against Chet Holmgren. You know, who else you got? You got Siakam against J-Dub. I mean, it's a freaking mirror. You're looking in a mirror when it comes to these teams. They're matched up so well that Hardenstein against Toppin. I mean, this is a perfect matchup. So if you don't like it and you're like, I'm going to tune, or Rob Parker goes, I'm going to tune off on the shot. No, shut up. You're going to watch it. You're going to watch the damn finals.
And one key here, Rudy, the coaching. We have Rick Carlisle, who has won an NBA championship. He's been around the league. It's going to be interesting to see the chess match between coaches. One coach, ton of experience. One coach, hey, this is your first finals, your first deep playoff run. Right, Rudy, we've seen coaches in the finals make disasters and really lose series. So we're going to see the coaching really matters in this finals. But, man, I'm pumped, and it's good to see the Pacers, a team that, Rudy, before the playoffs, we thought they could do some damage, but I'd be calling you crazy if I thought they'll get to the finals.
Yeah, I didn't expect this kind of damage. We got a lot of more comments in here. Before I get to this one from Joe, he did say that UTSA signed a Nike deal too. I'm going to have to get me some Nike shoes from UTSA. The Pacers are gritty, but they don't have the horses. And OKC, they're not even supposed to be here. That team could be scary for years to come. OKC's been knocking on the door. This is like the second year where I figured, okay, they're going to make it. They're going to make some. I actually thought they would make it last year to the finals. They didn't. But, they're here. They're going to be here for a very long time. Defense wins championships, but the Corgi predicted Pacers, so I'm going that route. I saw that Corgi video. I don't know if you've seen that Corgi video.
No.
Where he hits the ball and, with his nose.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He took the Pacers, I think, in 6. That's bullshit. Screw that dog. He ain't gonna. It's going to be the OKC. Rudy, if you think about it, doesn't Indy have more power players on the roster? It goes SGA, Holly, Siakam, J-Dub, Chet, Naismith Turner, and Neymar. Again, that's what we were saying. Both teams are, they have so much depth on the bench that this is going to be a great series. And a matter of fact, I'm taking Indiana game 1. I'm going to call it right now. I got the Pacers in game 1.
Well, really, they always say the easiest game to win for a team on the road is potentially game 1.
Yeah.
The Thunder have been off. The Pacers have been off as well. But I really hope the Pacers can really knock out all the noise, zone in, because if the Pacers win the finals, Rudy, it's going to be a very impressive run. And look, I get it. The first 2 series, Rudy, you can say this guy was hurt, this guy was hurt. At the end of the day, I told you, Rudy, in that Cavs series, even though there's guys out or, in our lineup, they're still gaining confidence, right? They're still gaining that. And the New York Knicks, Rudy, what have I said about them, Rudy? They just find a way to run out of gas. It's just, they just find ways. And I love Cat. His defensive, some of the stuff he's done is a little questionable, but listen, he was a load, Rudy. Karl-Anthony Towns was a load in the middle. And the things he was doing in that series, fantastic offensive performance. They don't have to, Chet's a good player, Rudy. Chet's not there to think Carl's level, at least, to a certain extent. But, man, it's going to be a good series.
It's going to be a wonderful series, man. Joel Clones is going to have to pay for ESPN because I do want to watch. KSAT has the worst over-the-air signal. Can't get them where I live. Where the hell do you live? I thought he lived in San Antonio. That's what I thought. Maybe not. Maybe I was wrong on that. It's the same. Pascal Siakam might be the X factor.
Yeah.
Who do you have game 1, Gio?
Damn, this is a tough one. I'm actually going to pick Indiana for game 1 to set the tone. That really, to me, they need to split in Oklahoma City if they can, because if they lose all the road games, they're not winning this series, right? So you got to at least win 1 game on the road. That's what it's going to take. If they can win 2, that's great. But game 1, really, off the bat, I really hope they really show up. Because if you go down 0-2 going back home, all the Thunder have to really do is just win one of two, right? And they're
Yeah.
probably going to win that series. So you
Yeah.
got to win at least one of these games to really get that confidence going.
It shows that, you know, it's crazy because it shows that the Thunder tend to play really bad coming off of a long layoff. And it's usually game one. I mean, they ran through the first series. They ran, pretty much the second round. I mean, it just kind of shows that when they have a little bit of a layoff, that they tend to play a little bit, slow out of the gates and this and that. And that's kind of why I figured Indiana might take advantage, win game one. And then, you know what? Then it's OKC, because then the bounce back game that OKC has always seems to be really, really good. Well, and that's what I'm counting on right there. What do you got?
You saw when the Timberwolves beat them by like 40. Was it game 3? Rudy was just a massacre.
Yeah.
And then they go win game 4, and then the series is basically done. So the Pacers, listen, watch what the Nuggets did, because Rudy, I thought the Nuggets had a golden opportunity to actually win that series. Though in game 7, to me, Joker just, I don't know, he just ran out of gas or whatever the case may be. But the Thunder throw a lot of bodies at. But I'm really having hope that the Pacers can come out and play out of their minds in this series for them to win.
Yeah, you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if if Indiana wins. But I'm taking OKC. I just know it's going to be a hell of a series, man. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Jeffson here, Rudy, put it this way: which team could survive losing their stars in this series? OKC with SGA or Indy with Hallie? That's a good question. If one of them was to go down, which team would be able to survive?
I think Indiana would.
I think so.
Be able to survive because SGA, Rudy, I don't know what his usage rate is, but I'm assuming it's pretty high. I mean, he averaged, I don't know off the top of my head, but he's probably, if he goes down, Rudy, that's 30 points right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Tyrese, as well as he's been playing, he doesn't need to score 30 points.
No.
So that to me kind of goes in the opposite direction. But give me the Pacers, hoping no injuries. I don't like injuries in the finals.
Injuries, period.
We saw Kevin Durant get hurt that one year with, I think Clay was hurt maybe too in that Thunder series, or
it was a Warriors and Raptors. I think he popped. He tore his ACL or popped.
I think it's Achilles.
Achilles, yeah, he tore his actually he tore it in the NBA finals there. Yeah, I don't want to see that at all. Joel Clone, I told Rudy the other day, Siakam is a proven winner. Yes, he did. I do remember that. When Toronto moved on from him, I was so upset. Upset that my Spurs didn't make a move for him. He's the type of big we need, and he's a good player, definitely. And speaking of Spurs, man, everything coming out, Gio. But we got to get off of this bandwagon here right now. We got to talk stuff here now. The whole talk today is Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant. Now, Spurs got number 2 pick. And again, for everybody out there, drop your trades in the comments here. I mean, we want to see your trades. Who do you think is going to be on the move? Give us your trade scenarios. But you see they got the 2nd and the 14th pick. Dylan Harper. I said the potential to maybe draft Cooper Flagg, Gio, is still there. 99.9% of the chance Mavericks are going to take Cooper Flagg. I mean, they've already said it, but you and I have said it many, many times, especially you. Can't really guarantee it until the name is called. We've heard so many times where this is going to happen, and all of a sudden, what have you always said?
Anthony Bennett.
Yeah, coaches lie. Front offices lie. I mean, you don't trust anybody. Was it DTA? Don't trust anybody. So
Stone Cold said that.
Stone Cold said don't trust anybody. So I'm assuming the Mavs take Cooper Flagg. If they're smart, knowing they're out with Kyrie for a while, you draft Dylan Harper. I mean, that's just my opinion. If you're looking at everything, you draft Dylan Harper, pair him up next to Kyrie when he comes back. You've already got Anthony Davis. You've got a plethora of big guys, Derek Lively, Gafford, PJ Washington. I'm liking it. But for argument's sake, Then you heard Giannis to San Antonio for Castle or for Dylan Harper, number 2, all that other stuff. Now you hear everything. Everything's coming out now. Jake Weinbach, who we're going to put up, shared this trade scenario. And a lot of people ran with it. Now, the way it is this. So basically, it's a Devin Vassell and Harrison Barnes and the number 14th pick for Kevin Durant. You're not giving up number 2. You're not giving up Dylan Harper. You're keeping number 2. But you're giving up 14. So I ask you, because my opinion is this. I don't want neither one. I don't really care about Giannis coming. I don't care about Kevin Durant coming. It doesn't bother me. If they come, great. If they don't, no big deal. But you're a Spurs team with half a season of De'Aaron Fox, roughly, maybe a little less. That was 5 games away from the play-in with the current roster. Give a full season of Spurs with De'Aaron Fox, you're at worst a play-in team. A Western Conference that is kind of going downwards now while you're still going up. So that's why I say I don't really give a damn if they trade for either one. But in Coach Gio's world, this type of deal, yay, nay, put it to bed. Do you like it? How are you feeling about it?
I don't say I love it. I like it. I mean, you have an opportunity to get a player that's still playing at a very high level last season in Kevin Durant. Rudy, I mean, look, if the Spurs don't do much in the offseason and get a few players, they're a playing team, but is that going to move the needle, Rudy? No. But if you get a Kevin Durant or a Giannis, or, we talked about Brown from the Celtics, a few other players as well, the whole super team idea is starting to really just kind of go away. Turner from the Pacers had mentioned that, but you still need talent to win. And I wouldn't mind it. I like it, Rudy. I don't love it at this point because you can keep all your assets and you still got draft picks. You could still do that. But I think the Spurs are maybe a one piece. You got Victor, Fox. I mean, Kevin Durant, Rudy, that wouldn't be a bad 3 right there.
So you're talking Fox, KD, and Victor. Okay.
If healthy, because, he didn't end the year. And look, when you're that tall, Rudy, I know he's gained some weight in Texas. I know he's been eating those tacos in San Antonio. But, with that kind of figure, he tends to potentially get hurt as much. Yeah. If healthy, with Kevin Durant and Giannis, they got to be a playoff team, right? I mean, I wouldn't imagine that they wouldn't be.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're adding either Kevin Durant or Giannis, you should be a playoff team. If you're not a playoff team, and
someone's getting fired.
I'm going to get into that here. There's a lot of ways. There's a lot of reasons why I bring this up, because the rest of the show, we're going to talk about this. Sith is in here. Again, Talking Sith, that's going to be coming to Sweep the League Network here very, very soon. Spurs have a higher chance of shitting the bed than they do moving up. Nico won't mess that up again. They don't have to move up if Nico decides to take Dylan. So we'll see what happens. So Giannis said he wants to stay in the East. I'm a no on KD. Got to find the way to get flagged, and then we can run it with the kids and have them grow together. Pick 14, Keldon, Vassell, Barnes for KD. Keldon and Vassell, they're not going to be in a trade together. I feel that's just too much when it comes to capital right there. So I'm okay with Barnes, Vassell, and 14 for KD. Still gives you that number 2 pick. You lose some depth when you make that kind of move. And that's where I kind of stop on the whole trade scenario thing. So first and foremost, before I get to Jeff's question here, Jeff's question, I'm like you. I'm okay with the deal. Personally, I don't really want to make a deal at all. I personally don't want, because for what you have right now, you're 5 games out of the play-in. That was, basically a little bit of De'Aaron Fox. Then you had the Victor injury, so they shut him down, with what he had. You had the whole Pop fiasco going on, people playing in the way. This year was just a shitty year in San Antonio. Throw it under the rug. You still managed to win more games than you had a year ago. You still improved on that. As of right now, you lose no depth if you just keep 2-14. And you go after a free agent, somebody in free agency, a big man in free agency. Go make a deal like that. But what I look at it like this, say they make the deal. And you just said it. Injury happens. They don't make the playoffs. Maybe they make the play-in. But they don't make the playoffs. Or something happens and they don't. So what happens now? Because you gave away a lot of the future. And then Kevin Durant, who maybe he's on a 1-year deal, do you need that guarantee that he signs another 3 years with the Spurs to make that move? And if so, he's going to be 40 at that time. I mean,
I think I would.
It's
probably
tough, dude.
Giannis is the one that would, because he's what, 30 now, Rudy?
Yeah.
Yep. So I would rather have obviously a 30 than a 40-year-old. So, and Jeff makes a good point. This whole super team, ideology that we've talked about, where teams are starting to get away from that, because we're seeing what the Thunder have done. We see what the Pacers have done. Though they obviously have good players, but no kind of mega super team. The Spurs may want
Timberwolves.
Yeah, they may want to
back Western Conference Finals. They were not a super team.
No. And Julius Randle, who's been getting killed on social media with the memes. But no, I think the Spurs are probably thinking, look, super team, maybe just building this up. And listen, if they do that, I'm perfectly fine, because my mindset is still in the whole building phase. Look, if they go on that same roster next year, it's possible they can make the playoffs, but we never know with injuries and obviously that. But they can make smaller moves, Rudy, right? That don't have to give up as much. You still have some assets there you can trade and get more capital. So, I mean, we'll see.
We're definitely going to see. And I'm with you on the super team talk. You're seeing it. Oklahoma City built, not bought. I mean, that's technically what it is. They
built
did
that from the ground up, Rudy. I mean, from the ground. What Sam Presti's been doing is stealing out there, wheeling and dealing.
Exactly. But and then I had an argument with somebody on Twitter, a little bit, and it was like, well, SGA. You can't tell me you knew what you had in SGA when you traded for him. You knew he was going to be special, but you don't know SGA is a future MVP player. Like you do not know that.
No,
trading for him. So Sam Presti made that deal more for the picks than anything else. SGA was just a godsend. I mean, the way he played, this is the godsend.
And Paul George is responsible for a good amount of these players in the finals, which is
Paul George is responsible for both teams in the finals. He was a Pacer, traded away. He was a part of the Thunder, traded away. Both teams got everything they needed from Paul George. So I'll tell you what, whichever team wins the NBA Finals, that motherfucker needs to get a ring, because he's helped both teams make it to the NBA championship.
And the Kings had Tyrese in their backyard, and they let him go. I mean, I don't know. The importance of coaching and keeping players around. But look, this is the era that we kind of live in right now in the NBA.
Yeah. So the same, we make that move. We can sign some bench players for agency, no inexpensive. I get that too. If they knew what they had in SGA, the Clippers wouldn't have traded. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. You don't know what you have. And a player, when you trade for him, a lot of times you're hoping it works out. But Presti did it more for the picks more than anything else. He didn't do it.
Well, Rudy, Paul George, that trade they did, I mean, I'm not trying to say in hindsight, but I didn't think it really made all that sense. I get Kawhi wanted another star, but Paul George, I mean, he was flaming out in the postseason. And he wasn't the same player he once was. Obviously, he had that injury. But really, when Paul George came to Oklahoma or to the or from the Clippers there, it didn't make any sense. But Kawhi wanted a star. They got him one, and it didn't work out. Now, what is he doing now, Rudy? He's stealing money from the Sixers again.
Yeah, he is. He's gonna.
Rudy, how did he get that contract, Rudy? It didn't make any sense. It is just giving out money over there.
Well, the way to get a contract like that, and I'm sorry, Joel says I'm cussing early in the day. I'm sorry, man. I sometimes I
How
gotta
he got
cuss
a
to make the
contract?
point. Well, all you have to do is you have to give yourself a nickname like Playoff P, and they think you're good, and they think you're gonna be this and that, and they're gonna give you a contract. So I think with you, we should probably reach out to some major sponsors and say we've got Coach Gio.
Rudy, 4 years, $211 million for, to me, a guy. And listen, I know his last season with the Clippers, he played good. He was pretty good. But 4 years, 200 million? No, there's no way. I wouldn't have. The Sixers paid it like this, and they're also paying Joe. That 7-footer that they got there, who also who's hurt half the time. They gave him a long-term extension. Why did teams just give out contracts?
It's this year. It's the NBA, dude. It's the modern NBA.
50 million. Oh my God. For a guy who's doing more podcasts than playing. No offense, Paul George. Sorry.
No, all the offense, man. You're freaking Chandler Parsons, this whole thing, man. Like you're getting paid, and albeit he's had a way better career than Chandler Parsons. I mean, Chandler Parsons, he stole the bag and he ran with it. But Paul George, yeah. Joel Embiid, yeah. I've been on, I think I went on Locked On recently. I said Joel Embiid more than likely is going to be traded. I think he's one name that is not being talked about. And I'm talking for peanuts, dude. Like they need to get rid of Joel Embiid.
Send him to Washington.
Send him everywhere. I don't care. Send him to Toronto. Who gives a shit? Sorry, Joe, I'm cussing. Who cares? Send him to Toronto.
Listen, when healthy, a hell of a player. Though I don't like when he said he's not playing back-to-backs, or he really hurt himself last season, and then he's hurt, but then he's doing backflip. It's just he's an absolute PR nightmare. He's a PR nightmare. Good player when healthy, but comes with a lot of extra stuff, and he's never healthy. And I also don't feel like he's in good shape, Rudy. And I'm not trying to say anything about his weight, but it just seemed like he's never in good shape.
I'm not in good shape, but hell, they can pay me $200 million. And
if they're paying me that much, Rudy, you gotta want it. I mean, not to bring up Aaron Donald because he's different, but Aaron Donald's workout stuff was just legendary. And now Jared Verse called him out yesterday, but like, it's just you gotta want it. Jared Verse is a freak of nature, Rudy. An absolute freak.
Not to get off on an NFL tangent here, but why the hell can't Aaron Donald just come back to team up with Jared Verse? I can't imagine an offensive line coming close to stopping that 1-2 tandem.
For years, I told my friend Joe, who's also a Rams fan, I said, Aaron Donald needs a partner. And not to throw shade on any of the Rams defensive players we've had over the years, and Brockers and Von Miller and Dante Fowler and those guys, but those guys were not it. But Jared Verse with Aaron Donald, I saw Aaron though already. He's lost weight. That man's not coming back. It's done with. And Jared Verse was kind of poking the bear yesterday, as he says Aaron doesn't live like he used to. But I would have loved to see those two, but for a 10-year career, Super Bowl, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
And Rudy, not to bring up football, but the Lions lose their center. I don't know if you saw that. He retired. All pro, by the way. Not just a Jag, as I call some of these other players. This guy was an all pro, Rudy. That's a big hole for the Lions to fill.
Yeah. It is, and it's going to affect them. I think if they can't find the right piece for that, it's going to affect them. And I don't know, my Super Bowl pick in Detroit isn't looking very, very well right now. Luckily, we haven't started NFL talk because I have time to change my pick, and I guarantee you it's not going to be the Falcons. I guarantee you it's not going to be the Cowboys at all.
No, not the Cowboys?
No, I do not like the Cowboys.
Please don't jinx the Rams, okay?
I did say, and the last time you were on, I did say the Rams are my favorite team in the NFC. So there's the jinx. There's the jinx right there. Hopefully it doesn't hit you in the butt. It doesn't.
Well, no, if they stay healthy, obviously the NFL is all about ifs, but if healthy, I think the Rams will have a great opportunity. And please, I don't want to go to Philly again for a playoff game, and it's pouring snow. It's not fair.
I honestly, I doubted. I have little faith in Philly, but for whatever reason, they're starting to grow on me a little bit more right now.
Rudy, they are, they're a well-run ship over there in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They always get draft picks, and they just made a trade with the 49ers. The 49ers seem to be just trading for all defensive linemen. It's like they have a stacked D-line room.
They built a nice defense in San Francisco this offseason.
It's going to be a pain to play them. Yeah. But for the Eagles, Rudy, I think, they have the way they run that offense and the running game and their defense playing as well. I mean, I called it, Rudy. I told you, Derek, I said, they signed Saquon Barkley for chump change.
Yeah, they did.
For chump change. And I told my friend, I said, why don't the Rams go get Saquon? No offense, trade Kyron. Get Saquon Barkley there. And he was literally the difference in why they obviously won the Super Bowl. But no, the Eagles are going to be a tough out, man. Their fans are very annoying, but they're going to be a tough out.
Can't be more annoying than Dallas Cowboy fans.
Rudy, listen, Cowboy fans are delusional, but Eagles fans, they will fight you. They boot Santa Claus, and every year they always have videos come out of them fighting someone. I told my girlfriend, I said, we should go to an Eagles game when the Rams come in town. Then my friend Gerald said, Gio, I'm a fear for your life, man. If you go into that stadium with a Rams jersey, you might not come out alive. I said, you got a point.
Yeah, I agree, man. That's why I don't like going to any other type of stadiums and support this. Where I don't do all that. Let me get to the comments before we go. Look at what Derek White turned into his championship year in Boston. Shaq became legendary post Magic. Paul George is more worried about his podcast and he's about winning basketball games. These NBA stars are a bunch of pansies. Totally agree. Kawhi has Brandon Roy knees. He could have been one of the greats, but he's too injury prone. He's my favorite Spurs. What if Kawhi Leonard? I mean, a healthy Kawhi Leonard is probably the closest thing that you're going to see to Michael Jordan that we've seen, period, on both sides of the ball. So
let's go.
I'm entertained by that. Let's go, Pat. Pats are my underdog team this year. I think they're 2 years away from like being legit, but they can make some damn good noise this year.
Well, they had a little interesting with their receiver and Diggs, who I don't know if you saw, Rudy, he was on that boat. And there was a substance. I don't really know. I didn't really read much into that. I didn't look further, but it didn't look great. And as Patriots, you always hear, Rudy, the Patriot way. I don't think that was the Patriot way on a boat there.
No, that is definitely post Bill Belichick there on the pink substance there. So I'm sure Bill's doing that probably at North Carolina, where he'll only be there for at least the next month.
Bill. Yeah, Bill's Rudy, I can't wait for college football because I don't know what to expect from your Tar Heels.
I expect Bill Belichick not to be the head coach when the season starts. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to happen. July 1st, that $1 million buyout comes out and bye-bye. I think Bill's gone, man. Sit the Lord Elias. What?
He keeps wearing the North Carolina shirt. I mean, I don't know. I keep seeing him
wear it to, you get bought out.
Well, with his girlfriend, I keep seeing him everywhere these days. So I don't know. It could be a disaster, or should I say, could strike gold, Rudy. It could be I'm
telling you,
an Indiana Hoosier type of year,
Oh my God! Speaking of Indiana, they got that kid right through the transfer portal, Fernando something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna do my research on him. I've been hearing that he's like the real deal, so I'm gonna do my research on him.
Yeah.
Cowboys, Sith Lord saying we them boys, for sure they're not making the playoffs, right?
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
Okay, if the Commanders possible take a step back, right, and the Cowboys take over that second spot, because I don't see the Cowboys winning the division. I just not right now, at least. But could they finish second? Possible. The Commanders, sometimes, before you can go forward, sometimes you go backwards. So we'll see. But Dallas, I mean, I like the Pickens move, Rudy. I like it, but I don't know if it moves the needle as much as people think. Their defense was horrendous last year, even with Micah Parsons there. If they can fix that, they'll be able to put up some points. Sure, why not, Rudy? But I just, it's the Cowboys and it's Jerry Jones.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Joel Cologne, screw the Eagles. Chloe Clement was out of bounds in the back of the end zone. Yeah, I mean, he's saying it. Definitely give him a hell yeah. I still maintain that. Says if San Antonio Spurs trade Castle, would it be like the Clippers trading SGA? Well, on my pre-draft report, I said Stephon Castle is a poor man's SGA. He really has the tools to turn into SGA. I'm not saying he is SGA, but he can turn into SGA. I don't know if it's that far yet. It could be. I think that's why the Spurs keep Stephon Castle more than anything. I even said, I pissed off some people about a couple of weeks back, and I think it was on this show actually when I said, "Are we sure Stephon Castle won't end up being better than Victor Wembanyama when it's all said and done?"
What the fuck?
I mean, look, he's still a young kid. I love what I saw. I'm still going to give it time. Could he be better? Sure. I mean, it's possible. But I think Victor is I know you hate this word, Rudy, a generational talent. And what he can do is watching some Spurs games. I don't watch them all because it's hard to watch basketball these days, but he just does some things I've never seen before. So I'm trying to give a nod to Victor, but
what has he done that we haven't seen before?
I just think the ceiling for Victor is tremendous. If he gets a remote shot like Kevin Durant, he's going to be unstoppable.
Okay. If he gets a shot like Kevin Durant. So he's not there yet.
No.
Again,
and he needs to go in the post more too and stop shooting 3-pointers, which obviously he couldn't be Kevin Durant. But obviously he needs to grow more, and I need to see more out of him. He's still young.
But he's not generational yet. Like we can't say.
I'm saying he's the
shot
talent
like that.
I'm saying
I've seen
the
shot
talent
blocking like that. I've seen shooting like that. Now, albeit not from a 7'4" guy,
but
I've seen a 7-footer shoot lights out and better than him. Actually, Dirk Nowitzki, first one off.
If I started a team, but I take Castle or Wemby, I'm at least right now, Rudy. I'm still taking Wemby.
Okay, and that is all fair because I totally agree with that. But I guess my point was, are we sure that there's not a slim possibility that Castle could be better of a player than Wemby later on?
Yeah, no, I mean, if Wemby starts playing like, I'm not going to say any names, but if Wemby's just start not playing the way he should, I'm sure it's a good possibility. Castle and other players could be obviously better, but I just think the talent, man, I just think the ceiling for this guy, if it all just clicks, I think we're going to be watching some great basketball, but he's got to stay healthy, Rudy. And that is a big people that size, Rudy. I know David was 7 foot, or was David 7'1"?
7'1", David Robinson.
I mean, David, but then again, look, in 97, David has that back problem, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just things happen. And David Robinson was never the same after that back injury.
Let me ask you a fair question on Wemby because we got about 10 minutes left and we got more comments to get into here. We're not ignoring you guys, but let me ask you something on Wemby here. All chips aside, because we got to get some more Spurs talk. All chips on the table, everything like that. How many years do you think he plays in the league?
He's already played 2 years, right?
He's played 2 years and maybe 1.5 if you think about it. If you take away the injury stuff, like add the injury stuff, about a year and a half. How many years do you really think this guy plays in the league?
In total, I will say best case scenario, He's playing 13, 14 years.
That's what I've got. I think 13, 14-year career is what I have him at.
I think best case, could he be like a Yao Ming Rudy where just the injuries because there was a point where Yao Ming Rudy with the Rockets was battling the Lakers in the playoffs. And I think Yao got hurt in that series. I forgot what year it was, but Yao was torching the Lakers. And just injuries just robbed Yao Ming of more. So I think best case is 13, 14 years. A phenomenal case maybe is 17. But I think right now, 12, 13 years with this injury. But he can go potentially another 6, 7 years without getting hurt, majorly at least. But we'll see, man. It's tough to call right now.
So I think, some fans expect him to play, 19 years in the league, like Tim Duncan or something like that. I cannot see that to save the life for me. Like, honestly, I'm terrified of saying that he's going to play 14 years. I think that it's like too much wear and tear on the body there.
Too much. I mean, could the NBA lower the games played? Possible, not by much, I think. And that's floated around. But yeah, Rudy, I think overall, 13, 14 year, I think that seems real for a guy his size.
Yeah.
But he needs, Rudy, we need to see, what are you looking for, Rudy? I know the offseason hasn't, got here yet, and obviously training camp. What do you think should be his stat line year 3?
For Wemby?
Yeah. But what's the best case scenario for his stat line, you think?
We're talking healthy?
Healthy Wemby.
65 games or 70?
Yeah.
60. Okay, we'll go 65 games. Stat line year 3. I will be satisfied with 24, 12, and 3 blocks. And I'm saying I'll be happy with 45% from the field because I know he takes a lot of jumpers. So if he was more of a post guy, like he should be, I'd be right around 55, 56%. Massive year. Maybe my points go up a little bit. But I'm at 24, 12, and about 3 blocks a game, 3.5 blocks a game.
Same. I'm looking for that. He's gotta, because Rudy, and I don't want to bring up other guys, but Robinson and Duncan, their third year in the league, I mean,
they were stupid.
They were. I know Robinson obviously had flameouts in the playoffs, but if you just look at what they did from a win total, it was just ridiculous.
Yeah. And that's why I say the generational talk got to stop.
I just think the generational talent, he's not right now, I think the talent, I'm thinking long-term, Rudy. I know right now it's not necessarily there completely. I just think the ceiling is so high. But look, as you compare him to Duncan Robinson, Duncan had a championship already, and Robinson was one of the most gifted centers we've ever seen. So,
yeah, I'll give you this much right now. Yao Ming, 9 years in the league. Now, he did play for the Shanghai Sharks, but again, we're talking NBA basketball. Sean Bradley, 12 years. Manu Bol, 12 years. George Mirasan had a 10-year career. All guys 7'2" and above.
And Robinson had probably one of the longer ones, Rudy, probably for a 7-footer, maybe.
I think David had 17?
Something
he was
like
in
that.
90. It was in 89.
Well, he was drafted 87, right? Then played 89.
Yeah, he was drafted in 87, played in 89. So he had a what? Golly, what is that? I got it right here. Let me get it.
He retired 03. So no, he had 13.
89 had a 14.
Yeah.
A 14-year career roughly. So again, and then he's 7'1" though. But look at David's body compared to Wemby's body.
Dude, David was lifting weights, dude.
Yeah, I mean, David was weights guy, but Wemby's lifting weights too. But the thing is that it's the height, man. that 7'4" frame is hard to put muscle on. Look at Chet Holmgren. It is very hard to add muscle to that physique right there. We got a bunch of comments. Let me get to these comments, man, before we get to the last thing here. Joel's 2 years seems right about Diggs was back in OTAs on Monday, and no, I didn't like that at all. I think he's talking about what Sith is saying. Pink cocaine, basically acid and Molly, giving us the
I guess Sif would know. So
blink twice if you need help. Bill Belichick, definitely. Cowboys are going 11-6.
What the fuck?
I don't
mean,
see that.
That's a best case scenario. I don't know if that's gonna happen.
I mean, is every team they play going to have injury bug and, all their starters are going to be out? I don't see it happen. We're going to cover NFL soon here anyway. Women's shoes are trash. Our trash shoes to play into. Be wary of possible foot ankle. Okay, yeah, shoes aren't that great. What's up, fellas? Eddie the First is in here. What's up, Eddie? You see the new Radical uniform changes the Magic did? I did see did you see the Magic uniforms? I'm okay with them. I'm okay with them.
I like, people always have something to say when new jerseys come out, but I liked a little bit of that throwback, new school kind of thing. That it was more of a definitely a change. I like it, different, but still some of that old school Magic kind of flair in there. I'm gonna say yay for it.
All right, Joel's got 22 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 blocks for Wemby.
Wemby needs more rebounds. As someone who betted earlier, dude, he should be getting more rebounds, man, on a consistent basis.
You would think.
Rudy. There's too many games where I see like 4 rebounds. I'm like, dude, what?
Yeah, that Navy physical training probably helped David too. That is very true. Oh, over and out, man. When it comes to the Spurs, we're gonna wrap up here in a minute here, but when it comes to the Spurs itself, I got on a rant yesterday. On X. I know you're not on X, so hopefully you get back on soon. I got on a rant yesterday. The overvalue of Spurs fans when it comes to players. Like, everybody says, people give me shit because I said Devin Vassell should be traded for, my thing was they should trade Devin Vassell and 2 second-round picks for Vujicic from the Bulls. Just to get a center, a 17-7 guy who's a 2-time All-Star, who can play next to Victor, doesn't need the ball in his hands, does a lot of dirty work. And you would have thought I was trading freaking Tim Duncan for Vujicic. Oh, no. Devin is just hitting his prime. Devin is a Spur. He commands more in a trade. Devin should bring back first-round talent. He should bring back a star in return. Devin is a 14-4 guy. Make it make sense that Devin should bring back. The only thing that helps Devin bring a star in is his effing salary, his contract. That is it. I mean, what is the mindset of Spurs fans to think that certain guys should bring in bigger talent? You think if I'm Phoenix, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to need me some of that Devin Vassell here in Phoenix, and I'm going to give up Devin Booker to get me some Devin Vassell here because I really need F no, man. Come on. Am I crazy for thinking that?
I don't know what it is about San Antonio. And I've been on Twitter over the years and I've met people, I've talked to people. Spurs fans, I'm not going to say they're cowboy delusional, but really, some of them are. Some of the guys that they build these close bonds with. Listen, as you said, Rudy, Devin Vassell, and at one point I really did like his game. I did to a certain extent. But to me, as Bill Parcells once said, he's just another guy. And he has that contract. He's another piece. Good player, goes on spurts, but a lot of times he's inconsistent. If you want to blame the style or this or that, okay. But at this point, Rudy, he's not doing much. And the Spurs, we talk about it, they need to be heading in the right direction. Get players that fit your system. And if they trade him, Rudy, I wouldn't lose any sleep. I'll be sleeping. But according to some Spurs fans, they're going to lose sleep, Rudy. He's not that guy. He's not that guy.
There are 3 guys on the team that are that guy right now. Castle, Fox, Wemby. There's 2 other guys that are almost at that guy level. And the reason why I say that is because they have continued to, be consistent all year. Harrison Barnes,
Yeah.
and Keldon Johnson off the bench. They were consistent all year. They were really good all year. Those 5 guys, yeah. Everybody else, I'm like, what the hell? I mean, it's so weird, man. You Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan. Oh, first off, Gio, I don't care if the offseason. You see Sohan, you see all these guys, you see Bronny James over practicing at Planet Fitness.
Ben Simmons
knocking down 7, 8 shots in a row. Number one, they're in an empty gym by themselves. Okay, yes, I get it. You know what? I have more respect for the guy that's going to post the 2-hour workout where you're missing 35 shots and making the 7 or 8 that you're showing us. I have more respect for those guys. You're in an open gym by yourself. You're an NBA player. Of course you're going to knock down a damn shot. You should knock down an open jumper. I mean, stop posting those videos, man. It does nothing for me. All it does is it gets these little fanboys all happy. Oh God, look, he's improving this, he's improving that. He's shooting against the ghost. Of course you're gonna freaking shoot, lights out against the ghost. Give me a break, man. But you're right. I'm gonna agree with you on this. I'm gonna agree with you 100% on that. Just another guy right now. If you trade him, you trade him. Shout out to Roger Esparza. Don't forget, Gio, Wemby's only 21. How was Robinson and Duncan when they entered the league? He's still a kid. Duncan was a senior, so puts him at 21 when he entered the league. Robinson, same thing, right around 21, I believe. So I guess we can be fair. And say give him this year.
And I also made that point in the past. But he is fairly young. He didn't go to college. I mean, David went to the Navy, and Duncan went all 4 years at Wake Forest. So there is really a level. Yeah, he did play overseas, right? He did do all of that, but there is a level of, hey, he's still learning, he's still growing. He never played in quote unquote March Madness. I'm sure he obviously played in Europe and their playoffs, and it is kind of pretty crazy there. But no, he's young. He's 21. That's the scary part, Rudy. If he can reach his full potential by 24, I mean, this is going to be crazy.
The height is what worries everybody, including me.
If he could just
height, man.
If he stays healthy, Rudy, man, and continues to improve, I'm really excited for Spurs fans. But if he has a Yao Ming career, still impressive, but what if, right?
If he has a Yao Ming career, it's a win for the Spurs. If they can just put the talent around him that'll help him, have that kind of career, it's a win. And actually, I think he's having a better career than what Yao Ming. He's on pace to have a better career than what Yao Ming had. Personally, I think so. So they gotta help him out by building around him to make it less stressful for him. Getting a big man is massive. Joel, go ahead.
No, yeah, with the bit, and then having Fox there now already.
Yeah, makes it easier. Another all-star, caliber type player every night there in San Antonio. The Magic original uniforms are one of the best all time. I love them. I love the original Magic ones.
Great.
The man, the myth, the legend. Not just you, Gio. Chris Leja's in here. MCS's own. Spurs fans are effing cucks, dumbasses.
What the fuck?
The Spurs fans are just, as I said, some of them are very delusional, and I don't know what. I don't know what it is about them, but they're always arguing and just, dude, take a chill pill. Rudy, I told you years ago when the Spurs rebuild was already starting. I said, Rudy, this isn't gonna be pretty for quite some time. And I already prepared myself mentally. But then again, I don't live in San Antonio, and I do not, get all that talk there. So I'm obviously outside.
Neither do I, man. I'm tired. It's funny because they argue left and right. Everybody argues. At the end of the day, I don't care if you cover the Spurs. No shot at anybody that covers them. Jeff Garcia, love him. But there are no sources that are not on the team or have in, direct contact with the team. And, that's the cool thing, Gio. To put a a title. Hey, I'm Coach Gio. I'm on Sweep the League, and I cover the NBA. And every time you post, Gio, I want you to do something. My sources, my sources, my source. That makes you legit, apparently, to put, well, my sources. Well, you know what? My sources tell me that I can't predict the weather because it's freaking hard here in San Antonio. That's like my guarantee source. If I had sources, I would just say it. But a lot of times when I post stuff, it's because I hear about it. Maybe I'm talking to somebody about it. Maybe me and Derek are having a conversation and he brings it up. So I post it. But I'm never going to use the per sources or my sources thing because I don't have any effing sources that I want to rely on.
You know, Rudy, reminds me. Do you remember when Kawhi went to the Clippers?
Yeah.
And nobody had that. No store. I didn't hear nobody. All the sources said LA, this and that, and everybody was wrong, right? So
you're talking about the Raptors.
No. When he went to the Clippers, no one had him.
Raptors to the Clippers. Yeah.
No one had him signing there.
Yeah.
It wasn't reported. Nobody said anything. Why? Because all the sources said the Lakers and this and that. And look, so listen, sources. Just have your opinion, and hey, if you have a source, whatever. But a lot of times, for these sources really stretch the truth.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, and that thing too is if you say something cool, you say it. If it happens, awesome, it happens. Gloat about it. I mean, we gloated about the De'Aaron Fox to SA thing, and we were calling that last year before the season even started. I mean, we were calling it a long time ago. We just said, oh yeah, we posted it back then. It's right here for you guys to check it out. But I mean, sources are sources, dude. I mean, you have them or you don't. I'll tell you what, this is a part of a lot of Spurs fans. They think Papa's God and he can do no wrong. Whomever he drafted is the greatest player of all time. It's delusional. I agree with that. We got to go, man. I know we're way beyond the clock. Gio, this is for you. Spurs say the course, wouldn't they continue to fall behind the pack in the West?
You know, really, the West is still competitive,
but it's coming down.
It is, but if they stay the courses and they don't, sign any other big time free agents, I mean, they got to construct. Listen, with every draft pick you get, Wemby should be on your mind. Free agents, think of Wemby and Fox, of course, but you got to continue to improve this team because really, if you don't, they're going to fall behind. And then Spurs fans are going to be in this running loop about how we need this, we need that, we need this, we need that. And they might get it, and they still might fall behind. There's no guarantee in sports, Rudy. There's no guarantee that even if they do anything, they just got to figure it out, man. They got a bunch of smart people in San Antonio. I think they'll figure it out. But if they keep the course, Rudy, and teams get better in the West, could they miss the play-in? It's possible again.
It's possible. I just don't see the teams getting better in the West. I think a lot of these older guys are going to start to retire.
That is true. I mean, the Warriors,
LeBron,
Kevin Durant's getting up in there in age. LeBron, there's other guys.
Draymond's going to be gone pretty soon too. I mean, not that it means anything. Anthony Davis. I mean,
yeah. I think the Spurs, listen, the Rockets, really, we saw what they did. Very impressive this year. I mean, obviously, they flamed out, but there's only a few young. I mean, the Thunder, really, can we agree that team's going to be around? And that's going to be kind of scary. The Spurs are going to have to essentially build to compete with that if they want to get to where they want to.
The only teams I fear in the West for future long term is the Thunder, Minnesota. If they stay the course that they're doing, I feel they're going to be really good. And honestly, that's kind of about it. Maybe Dallas for a little bit. Maybe
Houston,
yeah, but as long as Houston doesn't have any shooters, I'm not really worried about it. Like they can't shoot. I mean, hell, it's like right now, it's like, I don't know, man. I can't find. I mean, Durant to Houston would make them a really scary team. But
if I'm the Rockets, maybe you do that though. You're kind of messing with what you did last year. But for the Spurs, really, if they want to get to where they want to and the Thunder stay healthy and they keep most of their guys, I mean, obviously, Rudy, some of these guys, it's going to get expensive eventually.
Oh, eventually. Wemby is playing 20 years. Dumbass Spurs fans, be realistic. Yeah, he's not going to play 20 years. And sauces, that's what Leha says. He says, you got to cite your sauces, man. That's what he says there. I appreciate everybody joining us, man. We are back. Again, it's not going to be a 9 o'clock show anymore. We're doing it earlier in the day. You're going to get some recorded shows, but you're nonetheless, you're going to get more Sweep the League. Also, Grading the Markets back on Saturdays at 1 p.m. They usually go live about 1. Jacob Eric, it's going to be Anthony. Chris Leha himself joins from time to time. They do a lot of breaks, a lot of opening packs. JC, Joshua Cooks on Special Leave. They do a lot of stuff for there over on Grading the Market. And also the announcement today of a new show that we are working on called Talking Sith. Sith is going to be basically interviewing a lot of people and just say it's uncut, it's raw, it's no holds barred. So that's going to be his thing. They control what they do over there. Rudy, what is stopping you from calling Wemby generational? He's not right now. I mean, everything that he's done, I've seen 7-footer shoot. I've seen great rim protection.
But you haven't seen a 7-4 though.
I haven't seen a 7-4 like. You know what? I still haven't seen a 7-4 shooter shoot lights out. I mean, it's not like he's knocking down 3 after 3 and after mid range.
Do you think if you saw a mindset of a Kobe, would you think differently?
In Mamba mentality.
Yeah, well, we're talking.
No, let me put it this way. I would start to think generational if I saw his work ethic and his mind at a Olajuwon level. If he was to know I can dominate the paint easily, then you know what? That guy would be generational, because then he would be doing things way more in advanced than one of my all-time favorite centers are in Hakeem Olajuwon. That's what my thing is. I can't consider him generational if he can't dominate the one area he's supposed to dominate, and that's the paint. I mean, I'm sorry.
Fair. And I've always said that I'm not calling him generational. I'm said that a generational talent. Like I potentially see, or I do see, if he obviously reaches his peak, he could be that. But I mean, look, Hakeem Olajuwon, for you young guys, you want to go see footwork on a center, and also really people forget his defense was also phenomenal as well, top-notch defense. And I mean, what he did today. I'll answer Jeff's comment. What he did to David Robinson in '95, people always tend to bring that up every now and then. Though David had a good series too, but go watch that series. But is Rudy generational? Give me a hell yeah, Rudy.
It doesn't matter what you think. Give me a hell yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. So apparently I am generational, man. That's our talk for today, dude. We talked a lot about our Spurs. Of course, like I said, we're not going to be doing shows every day. Right now, we are getting back in the swing of things, but we will be grabbing some shows here left and right for you guys out there. We'll keep everybody posted. Appreciate everybody joining us here tonight on Sweep the League. For Coach Gio, for Derek Gervin, who is out there. Trust me, he is out there. Rudy Campos Jr. for Sith, Grading the Market, for Talking Sith. Everybody a part of Sweep the League Network. It is Coach Gio. It is Rudy Campos Jr. Until we sweep the league again, we'll see you later, knuckleheads. Are you looking for a contracting company that gets the job done right the first time? Look no further than MCS General Contracting. MCS specializes in top quality concrete work, including patios, driveways, foundations, and swimming pools. The team of experts are dedicated to delivering exceptional results and unparalleled customer satisfaction. At MCS General Contracting, they're not just hardworking, they're local. Based in San Antonio, they are committed to building relationships and trust within the community. That's why MCS guarantees your satisfaction. They pride themselves on getting the job done right the first time, every time. So why wait? Contract MCS General Contracting today to schedule your project and experience the difference for yourself. MCS General Contracting, building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League.